Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about uncovering psychological truths that you need to know before making certain decisions in life. These facts will not only blow your mind, but will also make you think twice before acting on impulses or emotions. Whether it's about relationships, habits, or your mental well-being, understanding these insights will help you navigate life more smoothly and wisely. So without further ado, let's dive into these incredible psychological facts you must know before doing anything drastic. Avoid making life-altering decisions. Until you understand cognitive biases. The human brain is a fascinating organ, but it's also incredibly prone to making mistakes, especially when it comes to decision-making. One of the biggest factors at play here is cognitive bias. Essentially, mental shortcuts that our brains use to make quick decisions. While this can be helpful in some situations, it can lead to poor decisions in critical moments. One common bias is confirmation bias, where people seek out information that confirms their pre-existing beliefs while ignoring facts that contradict them. Imagine you're considering quitting your job. If you have confirmation bias, you'll focus on every negative aspect of your job, overlooking the positives and the potential growth it offers. This could lead you to make a decision you later regret. Another is the availability heuristic. This is when people overestimate the importance of information that is readily available to them. For example, you hear one story about a friend who quit their 9-to-5 job and became a millionaire, and suddenly you're thinking about doing the same. However, you're ignoring the countless others who made similar decisions and failed. Understanding these biases helps you realize that your brain isn't always working in your best interest when making decisions. Take a step back, gather all the facts, and challenge your thought processes before you make a life-altering decision. 2. Avoid falling in love too quickly until you understand the halo effect. Love is one of the most powerful emotions we experience, but it can also be one of the most misleading. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where our overall impression of someone influences how we feel and think about their character. For instance, if someone is physically attractive, we tend to think they have other positive qualities like kindness or intelligence, even if there's no evidence to support these assumptions. In the early stages of a relationship, the halo effect can cloud your judgment. You might overlook red flags or incompatibilities because you're so taken by the initial charm of the person. The person may appear perfect to you, but over time, the reality of who they truly are will begin to surface. This often leads to disappointment, heartbreak, and confusion when the person doesn't live up to the idealized image you had created in your mind. Before you fully commit to someone, take the time to really get to know them. Look beyond superficial qualities and assess whether your emotional connection is built on a genuine understanding of each other or just the illusion created by the halo effect. 3. Avoid setting unrealistic goals. Until you understand the planning fallacy. Many of us are guilty of setting overly ambitious goals, whether it's about losing weight, starting a business, or learning a new skill. The problem often stems from the planning fallacy, which is the tendency to underestimate the time, costs, and risks associated with a project or goal, despite past evidence to the contrary. For example, you might decide to start a new fitness routine and expect to see significant results in a matter of weeks. However, the reality is that meaningful progress takes months, if not years, of consistent effort. The planning fallacy makes you overlook the small, incremental changes that are required to reach your goal. This often leads to frustration, burnout, and ultimately abandoning the goal altogether. A better approach is to break your goal into smaller, manageable tasks and set realistic timelines. Understand that progress is slow and steady, and be patient with yourself. Avoid comparing your journey to others, as everyone's timeline is different. This mindset will prevent you from becoming overwhelmed and help you stay focused on achieving your goal. 4. Avoid confrontations until you understand emotional contagion. Have you ever noticed how your mood changes depending on the people around you? This is due to emotional contagion, a phenomenon where emotions spread from person to person like a virus. Whether it's happiness, anger, or sadness, we unconsciously mimic the emotions of those we interact with, which can greatly influence our behavior. Before jumping into a confrontation, it's crucial to recognize how emotional contagion might be impacting you. If you're in a room full of angry people, you're more likely to become angry as well, even if the situation doesn't directly affect you. This can escalate tensions unnecessarily, turning a minor issue into a major conflict. On the flip side, if you're surrounded by calm, collected individuals, you're more likely to approach the situation with a level head. Take a moment to assess the emotional climate around you before engaging in any confrontation. If possible, remove yourself from highly charged environments to prevent being swept up in negative emotions. Once you've had time to process your own feelings, you're more likely to handle the situation with clarity and reason. 5. Avoid making snap judgments until you understand the fundamental attribution. Error. Humans are quick to judge, but we often get it wrong because of something known as the fundamental attribution error. This is the tendency to attribute someone's behavior to their character while ignoring situational factors that might be influencing them. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, your first instinct might be to think they're a rude or inconsiderate person. However, you may not consider that they could be rushing to an emergency or having a bad day. This error can cause unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings in both personal and professional relationships. Before jumping to conclusions about someone's actions, pause and consider the external factors that might be influencing their behavior. By doing so, you'll become more empathetic, reduce tension, and foster better relationships with those around you. 6. Avoid procrastination until you understand temporal discounting. Why do we procrastinate even when we know it's bad for us? One explanation is temporal discounting, which is the tendency to place more value on immediate rewards than future ones. This is why you might choose to watch Netflix today instead of studying for that exam that's a week away. The pleasure of relaxing now seems far more appealing than the potential future reward of getting a good grade. Temporal discounting explains why we often delay important tasks in favor of more enjoyable but less meaningful activities. It's a psychological trap that keeps you stuck in a cycle of procrastination. To overcome this, try to reframe how you perceive future rewards. Break down your long-term goals into smaller, more immediate rewards. For example, if you need to finish a project, set small milestones and reward yourself after completing each one. This approach helps bridge the gap between immediate and future gratification, making it easier to stay focused and productive. 7. Avoid comparing yourself to others until you understand social comparison theory. In today's world of social media, it's incredibly easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. According to social comparison theory, we determine our own social and personal worth based on how we stack up against others. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and low self-esteem. What makes this especially damaging is that we often compare ourselves to an unrealistic standard. Social media tends to highlight the best moments of people's lives, leaving out the struggles and imperfections that everyone experiences. You may see someone's picture-perfect vacation or successful career and start questioning your own life choices, even though you're only seeing a small curated snapshot of their reality. To break free from this toxic cycle, remind yourself that everyone's journey is different. Focus on your own growth and progress rather than trying to live up to someone else's ideal. Remember, comparison is the thief of joy, and it's only by focusing on your own path that you'll find true happiness and fulfillment. 8. Avoid overthinking until you understand the illusion of control. Overthinking is often fueled by the illusion of control, which is the belief that we can control or influence outcomes that are actually beyond our reach. This cognitive distortion makes us obsess over every possible scenario, even when we have no real control over the situation. For example, you might overthink a job interview by replaying the conversation in your mind and analyzing every word you said. You convince yourself that if only you had said something differently, you could have changed the outcome. This constant rumination can lead to anxiety, stress, and even depression. Recognizing the illusion of control allows you to let go of unnecessary worry. Focus on what you can control, your actions and reactions, and let go of the rest. This shift in mindset not only reduces stress, but also helps you approach challenges with a clearer, more rational perspective. 9. Avoid seeking validation until you understand the self-determination theory. We all crave validation from others, but constantly seeking external approval can be detrimental to your well-being. The self-determination theory suggests that humans have 3 basic psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. When these needs are met, we experience greater well-being and personal growth. The problem with seeking validation is that it undermines your autonomy and self-worth. You become dependent on others' opinions and approval, which can be incredibly unstable and inconsistent. This makes you vulnerable to manipulation and can erode your self-esteem over time. Instead of seeking validation, focus on building internal sources of self-worth. Set personal goals that align with your values and strengths. Learn to appreciate your own accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. By cultivating inner confidence, you'll find that external validation becomes less important, and you'll feel more fulfilled in your own skin. Avoid rushing success until you understand the growth mindset. Finally, one of the most important psychological facts to understand is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence are static, while those with a growth mindset believe that they can improve through effort and learning. If you rush to achieve success without embracing the growth mindset, you may become easily discouraged by setbacks or failures. For example, if you start a new hobby and don't immediately excel at it, you might give up, thinking you're just not cut out for it. However, this ignores the fact that mastery takes time, patience, and consistent effort. Adopting a growth mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. You'll become more resilient, persistent, and ultimately more successful in whatever you pursue. So before you rush into achieving success, remind yourself that it's a journey, not a race. Celebrate small victories along the way and embrace the process of learning and growth. Conclusion. And there you have it. These are some of the most mind-blowing psychological facts you should be aware of before making significant decisions in your life. By understanding these insights, you'll be better equipped to navigate the complexities of human behavior, avoid common pitfalls, and make choices that are truly in your best interest. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content on psychology, self-improvement, and personal growth. Leave a comment below on which psychological fact resonated the most with you. Until next time, take care and keep growing.